All right. Thank you.
You should.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. All right. On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. I got a super special guest star here for us today. Kirsten W. got a lot of new intel we're going to be trying to cover, and poor Kirsten's been having a tough go here the past couple days. So maybe you guys can throw a couple prayers her way too, because she has had better days as far as feeling good, but I hope she's coming out of the woods here. But Kirsten, how you doing, all things considered? How you doing?
Not bad. I'm just very, very weak. I haven't eaten in 4 days, so, it's just, But it's the fever. It's weird. I've never seen anything where the fever breaks, and then the next day the fever breaks again. The next day, how many times is the fever going to break?
Yeah, usually not that many times. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I know right now are kind of coming down with some sort of weird thing. Maybe it is the Omicron, I don't know, or the flu that's going around. But yeah, there's something going around right now.
It's a body.
Yeah, I think
it's a stomach.
Yeah. Is it starting the stomach at all, or no? Is it just mostly like body aches?
Body aches, but the stomach, I was going to throw up. So I know it. I've had it before. It's called the stomach.
All right. Wow. Well, you are tough. That's all there is to it. Well, Kirsten, what's going on in the world of intel? We got kind of heading into, I think, a crazy time. Obviously, Trump's going to be doing a big talk on the 6th. We've got the Supreme Court thing on the 7th. I'm probably a whole bunch of other crazy stuff that you're going to be regaling us with. So what do you got for us?
Well, basically, I don't understand why Jen Psaki is saying that they're going to close Gitmo. Does she have the power to do that? She's a press secretary. She's an idiot. And she said there's only 43 people in there. There's more like 430,000 in there. What is she talking about?
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever follow MonkeyWorks at all, but he was actually doing some really interesting information about the jail codes, like the inmate code, and then the last like 3 digits, I believe, are like the location. And He was noticing that with Ghislaine Maxwell, that the last 3 digits were like 507 or something crazy. Well, our prison system only goes up to 100. So he even gave examples of people that were in the facility that they claim she's in, and it had the correct number based off the website. So yeah, something fishy's going on. And we've also heard a bunch of people talking about how if Biden really is in charge, they're like, shut down Gitmo. If that's what you claim you want to do it. And so, yeah, I think they're talk, but they don't have the ability to do it, do they?
No, he doesn't have the ability to do it. But she's a total radical. She's one of the, ones that were put in by the biggest parasite ever, Blinken. And he owns West Exec and basically pretty much put in all of Biden's cabinet. But she is a radical one, so hopefully she gets...
Have you come across anything that suggests or proves, there's been a lot to suggest, but anything that you feel has been a direct connection to her and Zuckerberg? I'd heard that she might be related to him, so I don't know.
I don't know, but she could be a dude, if you know what I mean.
Well, I've heard that as well. Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah.
So interesting when she thought this might happen.
No.
Okay.
Of course not. She's like, you want to do it? Oh, do it then.
I dare you. I double dog dare you. Go for it.
Yeah. She needs to go. And also, we have a lot of their funds just being evaporated. You know that the Khazarian mafia is the one that's really in charge, right? They're the ones.
Right. Yes. And Khazaria, by the way, is Ukraine. So that is why I think that's a very significant little parcel of land, if you will. That is where the Khazarian mafia started, or Khazarians, I guess, started back in the day.
Yeah, and so basically, their biggest source of income is beginning to close up. That would be McDonald's, because they have found all kinds of, as you know, they're the largest purchaser of human meat. And they've not just found that, they found children's teeth. I guess they didn't grind, they couldn't grind the teeth. And so they're closing a lot of McDonald's. So their income's going down, down, down. And they're going, they've lost so much money now. They've lost the CIA's pretty much down. They went and got them out of D.C., that 700 arrested, and then, of course, They went to Lake Geneva and the CERN, and they were dismantled. So a lot of people are.
Now I've been hearing that. So, okay.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to get any sort of indication? Do you think Trump's going to talk on that?
No. I think
Okay.
Trump is this is for the more sophisticated, the people are getting very frustrated, and they just want to be free. So yeah, I think it needs to be something. And this is just going on and on and on.
Yeah, and it needs to come to a close, and that's the thing. And I agree. I actually just watched a really good video with Dr. Martin, Dr. David Martin, and another individual. I don't know who the gentleman is with the beard, but I mean, Dr. Martin had some good things to say. He definitely had some things where he's against hope, and he also had some kind of strong words against Trump. He seems like he's sort of willing to give the benefit of the doubt to a point, but it's kind of like that's starting to run thin. And I sort of agree. I kind of feel like we're at the place where I think Trump either A, needs to acknowledge that something's up with the vaccine, and maybe his little repertoire that he's been spinning for everybody might not be the best thing for everybody. I don't know, but
the booster,
yeah, it's really weird, and this is causing a lot of divisiveness. I don't understand why he's doing it. There's definitely evidence, a lot of it, and I know he's seen it, that suggests that the vaccines actually do have adverse effects, have actually killed people. Even through the trials, they found this was the case. So yeah, we need to kind of have a coming to Jesus moment, if you will, as a nation and as these people that are supposedly trying to help us through this. So yeah, it's been a concern of mine. Very curious to see what Trump says.
Did you ever get the memo where some very high up, I think she was from Estonian nurse, says there's 3 kinds of vaccines. That's the one with all the numbers and a number 1 at the end. That would be the placebo saline solution. The number 2 with number 2 at the end, that would be the spike protein with graphene oxide. And number 3 is the one, if it's the 3 at the end, that's the one where you can get cancer quite easily. So there's
gotcha. Okay. And that makes more sense to me, because the thing that's been bothering me is that not everybody's having the same experience. And so obviously not every single vaccine given is necessarily the deadly, or at least it doesn't react the same in everyone's body. So that's been one of the big concerns I've had. There's no hiding all the athletes that are just literally dropping on the fields. I mean, just saw one from football just yesterday, and the guy is just had his arms in a weird position. He was just clutching while he was on the ground. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and they were claiming he hit his head. But
was that in the United States?
Yeah, it was actual regular United States football. I want to say it was the NFL, and guy went and made an end zone catch and hit his head sort of barely on the back. But these guys wear helmets and stuff. That was nothing weird. But then his arms were just in this weird position, and he just held them, and he was just shaking, and he was just on the ground side. It was weird, and they had to take him off the field. Something happened to him. So again, they can't hide it. There's too many places where this is occurring, and I feel like the truth needs to come out. And I guess I was wondering if maybe Trump is kind of being held hostage to a degree by the pharmaceutical companies. I would assume they're probably one of the most powerful entities on this planet at this point, as far as money goes. So I don't know. To me, it's just this big mess that needs to be addressed.
Well, the big pharma is really owned by the Rockefellers,
right?
And they have been dropping the rods of God all over China, especially around the Three Gorges dams. Many, many, many earthquakes, and once they finish off the Three Gorges dams, Big Pharma server is done. Okay. And also we have the Wuhan labs done. That's linked to that, and of course the Bitcoin mining, which I told you the Bitcoin is going to crash. Bitcoin is used for child trafficking. Bitcoin was started by the CIA, and so the Bitcoin is going. And of course, I told you many places can't afford to mine for it anymore. China can't afford to mine for it. Norway or wherever it was can't afford to mine for it. A lot of places. So what are you going to do? I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's whenever something is allowed to exist, but then we hear people of the authority side, if you will, trying to poo-poo it. Yeah, hey, you know something's not right, because if they really were against it, it would probably be a lot more shut down than it is. So I agree with you. Things aren't adding up properly by any stretch of the imagination. And crypto's an interesting one. It's been majorly taking hits. XRP seems to kind of be holding, but yeah, it's been weird. It's been very weird.
XRP has been suppressed by the Khazarian mafia for years. Yeah, so I do believe that one's gonna. I do believe that one's gonna come up shining, and
I do too. It's got a lot of people talking that it's supposed to be the back end of the digital currency, and I'm hearing other people kind of suggesting that maybe this blockchain stuff might not actually work. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell what's true and what's not true. There's this lady, Kim Gogan or something like that, that's kind of new to the field, that claims to be the person that's in charge of the planet Earth or something. It's again, there's just so many radical, weird ass things that are coming out right now. It is very hard to sift through it all and figure out what's true, what's not. Yeah,
I mean, I hope he does something in January, because I mean, on Christmas they were supposed to do the trust, the Saint Germain Trust.
Okay.
I don't know if they did that. I went through that on my channel before I got so sick.
And I'll be honest. They've been talking about the Saint Germain Trust since the '80s or something. I've been hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it. And I always thought it was kind of tied to the Jassara and Asara and all that stuff. I feel like this kind of is all tied together. But yeah, I'd love to see some of that stuff start to happen. And I'm hearing it is too, by the way.
Huh?
I'm hearing it is like they are literally moving forward with it. But yeah, again, it's I think the part that's frustrating for everyone, obviously, is when do we get to see it, right? But it's great to hear about all this crap going on behind closed doors, but when is it going to become apparent to we the people?
Where the Rodrigo Trust is even bigger than the Saint Germain, so that one will go down.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. What else are you aware of that's coming up?
So basically, they have lost all their drugs. I mean, pretty much heroin from Afghanistan, the cocaine from South America. The two people that were pushing that, the Clintons, are long gone. Yeah. And of course, the last one are the pharmaceuticals from that guy that funded Epstein, his biggest donor. That's 𝐓𝐔𝐒𝐃. Who lives in there. And you have certain people that are being exposed one by one. You have the Haitians, which are coming up. Those are the only ones that I think they need help, because their country's been destroyed by the CIA with the tectonic plates, doing
earthquakes and stuff.
Doing earthquakes. And so basically you have so that is because they have had 4 people that are involved in child trafficking from Haiti, besides Hillary and others. We have, shall we say, Bono. We have Mr. Arsonist, burned down the Brazilian rainforest. Leo DiCaprio, Sean Penn.
Oh yeah, wow.
Sean Penn and LeBron James. Yeah.
I figured he had to be. I mean, he is just such a piece of work. I mean, it's a shame too, because he's a very talented basketball player. I know for all the people that give a crap about that, but yeah, the dude's dirty as dirty gets. It's unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
Is he that good of a basketball player?
Well, some would argue. I mean, I've heard. Again, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but some would argue that it's between him and Michael Jordan, and I don't know. I like Michael Jordan better. I just think he was professional. I thought he was really gifted, but yeah,
he's not a child trap.
I wouldn't fall on that. Yeah, I wouldn't fall on that sword for anybody. That's for damn sure.
He's not a child trap.
Yeah, I hope not. Anyways, God, I would hate to find out that he is.
And,
yeah, we've got a. Go ahead.
I think, according to the research on Kobe Bryant, during the crash, they said his body was burnt to a crisp. I doubt it. I think he's under witness protection.
Oh, you think so too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say everything about that crash didn't add up. I mean, maybe they crashed something. I don't know. I mean, that's very possible. That's super possible. But yeah, it's just the pilot had done that flight many times. It was a common route. I mean, yeah, it could have been foggy, big whoop, but the guy's done that flight a crap ton of times. I just don't believe that he slammed into the ground. I just don't believe that. Or at least intentionally. Now, the plane could have been brought down. It could, who knows, or helicopter, I should say. But yeah, hard to believe.
Yeah, I hope he's still alive, though. He's under witness protection. So it's good. Yeah.
Do you think he was basically kind of telling on some of these other individuals in the professional sports and what they were doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think's going to be coming up with Ghislaine Maxwell and all that stuff? To me, it's very strange that the only focus has really been on these four girls. And again, what happened to them is horrible, yada, yada. But the real crime and the real story behind the Maxwells is the island, the blackmail, the $500 million a year in income these guys were making. Like, do you think any of that's going to come out, or is this just like the bullshit trial that we're going to see as the public, but the reality of what happens behind the scenes might be something totally different? Do you have any intel whatsoever around that?
I think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think that if they go any deeper, they're going to have to get hold of what's
like literal people, like certain people would have to show up.
Chandler.
Yeah.
Ray Chandler.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that one knows a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed to be one of the little helper friends, that's for sure.
Or he.
Joe. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, good point. I have to look at those pictures more closely of her. It's that's really, I just found out, even, this is stupid, but I just found out even like my brother's got, one of his kids is kind of, I guess, going into this weird metrosexual version of her life. And it's just like, oh man. So it's just strange the way genders are being messed with. And I know that's Bethlehem, whatever the hell that, the horned goat with breasts thing is.
Oh, the
Bethlehem or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, Moloch. There you go. That's even better. So yeah, it's obviously part of all that Satanism and what's going on and just this craziness that's happening on the world right now.
I think she's going to skate for now until they get into something more intense. So we'll see. I think that was.
You got any intel around the audits and any of that stuff? Do you foresee anything coming up there?
Well, the audits are very clear who won. I mean, it's very obvious who won, right?
Yeah. So. I guess I've been suspicious that they're waiting for, at least I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like they're waiting for enough states, like 5, 6, 7, 8 states, to have their ducks in a row, if you will, to have enough information ready to go, and then maybe have that all presented kind of at one time to the nation. I mean, maybe that's part of what Trump's going to do. Again, I don't know. I think a lot of people are speculating. I'm leery, of course, because things have been so very disappointing. So I'm just hoping.
Very slow. I mean, it's like
like friggin' molasses on a cold day. Yeah, it's stupid slow. That's the concern, because I mean, we got till September, and then all these records from the other election are gone, right? They just had to save them till basically September. Then they can delete them all and get ready for the next election. So we don't have a lot of time to get to the bottom of this. And I think a lot of people, and rightly so, I think are very concerned about the pace that things are moving. And we know we're seeing evidence of all this crazy stuff that happened during the election. We're seeing evidence of all this pedophilia and common ping pong and all this crap with Maxwell and all them. Like, all this information's out. what the hell? Like, where are we? Why aren't we moving forward? Why isn't anything happening? Why aren't we seeing arrests? Why is Fauci still running around without, a friggin'
Fauci doesn't.
chain?
Fauci says he wants to have Jesse Waters fired.
Arrested.
No,
Yeah. No one can criticize Fauci. It's just so friggin' silly. That guy's just.
And that's not the real Fauci. That's